everyone. This is Chorus Landwalker, and tonight we have another exciting episode in Star Trek Online. We are continuing to follow the career, so to speak, of Fleet Admiral Tellel of the Romulan Republic. Tellel's been through all sorts of stuff, has completed pretty much the majority of the game at this point. Excuse me. But now we are going into an area which is honestly Star Trek Discovery heavy. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go in game and take a look. You see, we have recently, unaccountably, been informed of this terrible threat named Jaula, which basically came out of nowhere. Unless, of course, you were a Discovery-era character, which you can make in the game, and you'd gone through that content. Then, the idea of Jaula makes a little more sense. But, unfortunately, the vast majority of captains are not Discovery captains. I'd be willing to bet real money on that one. So, we instead have a bunch of these simulations of events that occurred in the Discovery era that we get to experience, presumably by holodeck, because it's the only way that actually makes sense. And, well, we're going to be continuing it this week. We had 2 simulations last week, and if things go right, we will have 2 simulations this week. But first, we have our usual Administrivia. Checking out the reputation. I continue my new rhymeless reputation grind to 60. To tier 5. Blech. 60 is the level. That hasn't been the max level for a long time, so I is not smart. I'm at 175,000. I need to get to 250,000. The odds of me reaching that before we hit the end of the adventures of Tellel, not high. But hey, I got all these Romulan marks. Might as well use them, right? And I'm going to take a quick look. I don't think I've gained any specialization point. Oh, I did get a specialization point when I wasn't looking. Oops. Okay, well, let's see. What did I get last time? I can access the more rare kit modules. One of these days, I'm going to do something about the kit modules. The problem is, I prefer to use the purpley ones, and the purpley ones aren't going to become available until all the way here to 27 points in Command Officer. And we've got 5, 10, 20, well, what do we got here? 18, okay. I guess one doesn't really count as anything. So I put in 18 points. I need 27, so I need another 9 points. Which makes a good argument for maybe I better pick up the blue modules if I want to use them at any point, because I'm not likely to get to 27 abilities. My other specialization I've got going is pilot, and I'm not sure I really need to put too many more points in here, because I'm already getting a 10% increase to my turn rate. I'm flying a ship that does not use pilot specialization. Let's confirm. This is a command station. Yeah, so we don't have any piloting seats, so there's no point in that. Hey, Devpa, how are you doing? Hope things are going well on your side of the monitor. I'm presuming you're talking about the 3.14 update for Star Citizen. That is still on the public test universe, but judging from the last update to the PTU, I still have pretty strong feelings that it may very well be landing sometime on Thursday or Friday. But we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, I am running my Rimelin Republic Aligned character. You finally figured out your audio sync issue. How about that? I've seen a couple of the streams you were doing and watching you act like those old Japanese movies. Doing the old, with the English dubs. You know what I mean. I'm sure you've seen the Police Academy movies. You know exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. We're going to see what kind of specialization skill to pick up here, and I'm just not going to do anything with piloting. That leaves me with, well, plenty of room to choose here for the command officer level. Damage from flanking deals less damage. Well, you know, that's always a good thing. Oh, Windows. That explains a lot. Yeah, I've had my own issues with Microsoft playing with my microphone settings. Although it hasn't happened in a while. My God, why did I just say that? Now I've just slapped fate in the face and dared it to do something. Why do I do these things to myself? Oh well, it's not the first time. Increase exposed chance. We're going to make the exposed chance longer. That'll give me more time to hit the exploit weapons and do more damage. I'm always a fan of doing more damage. Yes, fate will give you a wedgie now. This would not surprise me in the slightest. At all. But so far, today seems to be working okay. Nothing horrible has happened so far. Yes, now I'm going as far as backhanding fate too. Maybe I should just stop doing that and just move on. As we can see on my list of episode arcs, we have gone all the way down to Age of Discovery. So as you can see, we are running into the end game, for lack of a better phrase, for this character, because once we wrap up the Klingon Civil War, I'm not entirely sure exactly what the plan is going to be yet. I may do a Klingon character. I may try to stream a different game. Don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much. Fortunately, I think I've still got probably a couple months at this rate before I get to that point. I think. We'll figure it out. Last week, we did the Discovery era missions for an encounter at Pryor's World. Or at least around their system. Now we're going to go with a slightly more... STO is still in development, right? No, yeah. It's not in maintenance mode. In fact, the Klingon Civil War just wrapped up maybe a few months ago. I don't recall the exact date. And in doing so, they completed what they're calling the Year of the Klingon, which is, well, a number of other things they did in addition to the Klingon Civil War episodes. They tightened up the Klingon tutorial, did some visual updates, gave access to various Discovery-era Klingon outfits. I think they added a couple hairstyles, which was a big deal for Klingons, since Klingons didn't exactly have a lot to work with. They even had their own event. There's been a couple events that have gone into the game, like Delta recruitment, or Gamma recruitment, or Temporal recruitment. They had a Klingon recruitment, and basically it involves, if you made a character during a certain period of time, you would get this catchy device that would give you extra mini missions. Not being a player of STO, do you know what is on the horizon for STO updates? Yes, more lockboxes. That probably requires a little bit more elaboration than that. One of the most hated things in this game, as far as I'm concerned, was the proliferation of lockboxes. And let's see, I don't actually have any on this character at the moment, which means I did a good job on ditching them as I went. Because I have a personal loathing of the lockbox thing. Yeah, exactly. And they've also done some legendary bundle things. I think they're doing on the Cryptic stream tonight, I believe. They're introducing a new bundle for the Romulans, I think, but I haven't read any details on it because I'm not that tuned in. As far as story goes, I have no idea where they plan to go at this point, but I'm kind of half suspecting if I were to make a bet, I would bet that they're going to start bringing in concepts from the Picard television show that they've been doing on Paramount Plus. I mean, after all, they've done a good job on mining the whole Discovery era thing. Although there is a couple other loose ends hanging around that they might be able to do. It would not surprise me if they did. It would not surprise me if they did something related to the mirror universe, because there's a couple of loose ends involving the mirror universe that I feel could be fixed up here. Rewards worth it in the lockboxes? Honestly, the Champions lockboxes are probably better. You at least have a decent chance of getting the decent stuff in those lockboxes. Your odds of getting a starship in a lockbox is somewhere between a snowball in hell and a snowflake in hell. That's the short version. I basically ignore lockboxes as much as possible. As far as Picard, I can't really say. I don't have any. I don't do the streaming channel things, so I haven't seen Picard. The only reason I know anything at all about Discovery is because around the beginning of the year, that thereabouts, CBS actually showed the first season of Discovery on the network. So I was happy enough to see the first season, but I have not seen the second or the third because they're on Paramount Plus. I was enjoying Discovery, but it turned into Mary Sue saves all time and space. But I do like the whole Mirror Universe time. Yeah, the Mirror Universe was an interesting twist. Didn't expect that, although it feels like it makes hash out of the original series being the introduction of the Mirror Universe, but I tried to just wash my hands of it.
House Mokai, a name thought lost to the past, no longer.
Yeah, this is the same intro that he did for most of the other simulations here.
Along with her.
The Borg are showing up!
For more than the
Lower my shields! Surrender my ships!
The best way to understand
Wait, my culture to adapt to service you. I think anybody will tell you that I have no culture whatsoever to be worth assimilating. Trust me on this one.
I want you to be prepared when that happens.
Welcome to my stream. I'm going to butcher your name. I'm sorry. Patchouli? Resistance is futile. Well, what can I'll just have to give in. Man of culture assimilated. What do I get from this episode? I will get my usual trifecta of expertise, experience points, and dilithium ore, and I will get a lousy set of armor and shields. Oh, this is going to be kind of painful. Oh well, things I do. We're going to transwarp over to our destination, because otherwise you'll have to deal with me slowly traveling to... Okay, it's not actually that far. But I'm transwarping anyway. Because I'm lazy. That wasn't what I expected to see. There we go. Fun fact for people who may not be familiar, Delta Volanis, and more importantly the fact that it's a cluster, actually used to be a much bigger deal. It was its own map of sorts, where it had various star systems that you would basically hit the F key to interact with, and if you were lucky, there would be something there. Maybe a mission that you could do, maybe ships you could explode, planets you can land on and do. Find 5 things, or fight 5 groups, or something like that. But nobody did them, and they eventually got popped out into this, where it was basically just an area to interact with for duty officers. It kind of sucks. Sublight, sublight, sublight! The Europeans told the Americans in 1470. The Spanish came to our land and said, "Nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition." Yeah, well, I'll have you know that we rely on 2 things. Fear, complete surprise, and an almost fanatical dedication to the Pope. That's 3 things. Okay, I better get myself off that track, or 3 things. Yeah. And technically I skipped that because it was supposed to start at 2, but you know. Where's the 1? It's been so long since I've seen that sketch. If folks haven't seen Monty Python or read any of the stuff there, you've really missed something. I'm glad you've come in peace. Because, you know, I'm no good at warfare. Ask anybody. Delta Volantis Station is just ahead. Oh, that's new. We're picking up some damage to the station on sensors. Looks like they've been in a firefight recently. Then again, it's not that new, because we're technically, remember, this is in the past. We're in the Discovery era now, doing a simulation. Even though, you know, we're not simulating the Discovery era starship, we're just doing the Discovery era situation. Ooh, something I can harvest in space. I cannot resist shinies. Or at least this character can't. And let's see, it doesn't look like I'll have to worry about anything involving the Endeavors tonight, because I'm not doing the assault on Terranor. The Herc frigates are behind me now as far as the plot goes. Gorn, Tholians.
They can do that now, right? Unbelievable. Anyway, the whole thing was terrifying and strange. I mean, they shot at us, did some structural damage, knocked some sensor pods out of alignment, and completely ruined my latest experiment, but that's it. They had us.
You are killing me. I can't think of being in the past, in the future. Oh, don't worry. Someday, we will go back to the future. Yes, I could not help that. Sometimes I'll take the easy shots. And apparently, the doctor here has just discovered that Klingons happen to have cloaking devices. Rough break, guys. How can we help?
Our tractor beam is offline. Actually, it's a fried little puddle of sadness, but offline sounded better.
I like this guy's style.
Could you use your ship's tractor beam to move our sensor pods back into position? I'm sending the coordinates over now. That'd really help us get back to our research here. I mean, these gaseous anomalies won't analyze themselves, am I right?
Right on. Now, the ship I'm flying is a hybrid of sorts of Klingon and Romulan technologies, thanks to the great alliance we picked up as an effect of the Iconian War. Yeah, he does seem a bit whiny, but, you know, I'm not entirely sure. Well, we are in the middle of the Klingon War here.
Is online again.
Oh, good. That's one thing out of the way. And really, if he were hardcore, he would be on a starship. The fact that he's on a space station dealing with gaseous anomalies.
Okay. Sensor pod alpha is back online. Klingons are happening. A lot of Klingons. They're coming this way fast. Shields up. Weapons hot. They're gonna attack again.
Plus, this doesn't exactly look like what you would call a really well-armed station.
Starfleet Command.
He's basically in a
Volantis Station.
box of air, just asking to be blown up. I need to put some distance here so I can get a better set of shots on these guys. There we go. I like that Klingon happening. Well, unfortunately for the Klingons, I am happening to them. And I'm a little better armed in their piddling whatever the heck I just blew up. The birds of prey. Oops. Looks like they've gotten a few more. Now, I mentioned this last week, but I feel it's worth mentioning again. I am so very, very glad I'm fighting Klingons, as opposed to some of the crazy guys I've had to fight over the last few months. They're not crazy Vaadwaur with their cluster torpedoes. They're not Iconians with their godlike ships and their ability to summon minor suns. They're not Hurk that attack in huge swarms, go up your rear arc. They're just standard, ordinary starships. And I am so glad to see that. What is the size of the ship? I'm going to say that it's probably close to the size of, well, it's close to the size of the Birds of Prey, honestly. Maybe a little bit bigger. It's designated as a Raider-class vessel. Once upon a time, like early in the game's career, you actually did have a general idea of crew size. Unfortunately, those days went by the wayside because they didn't actually use that stat for anything. Let's pull up some more detail here. This is the an Alliance Temur Raider. Temur is named after the martyr Temur, who died to solidify our goodwill with the Klingons. And that was something that went pretty early in the Rimelin Republic arc. Yeah, technically speaking, the Rimelins the Star Empire kind of went poofed, and instead, a new Rimelin Republic has risen to replace it, which is a far more noble endeavor, but yeah, you thought you remembered crew size having stats? Yeah, back then, way back then, it did. It would influence the speed that it would take to repair your hull, and the theory was that cruisers would have more crew and therefore be able to repair their hull faster. That was a theory. It never really worked out that well, and eventually the devs said, heck with it, and removed that stat entirely from the game. So, crew size is no longer an issue. So my best guess is that since the Temur Raider is a Raider-class vessel, it's probably one of the larger size bird of prey, but that's about it. It's kind of hard to get a good handle on comparative sizes of the game. But yeah, I played for a hot 10 minutes back in 2012. That would be about the right timing for it. Oh, how about that? I actually unlocked my sniper trait for the starship as well. So before I go too much further, okay, I guess I actually already did put that on. Oops. Well, you know, sometimes I do things and I forget that I've done them. We're getting an incoming hail from Starbase 1. Put it on screen.
This is Kensington. Sounds like the Klingons are making a push in that sector. We're sending some backup your way. Command's still analyzing these attacks, trying to figure out what the enemy is up to there. In the meantime, I need you to hold that system and protect the station. Stay sharp out there.
Sounds good.
Good hunting.
One of me and unknown amount of potential Klingon hostiles. And oh yeah, space station that has absolutely nothing in the way of defenses. Thank you, Admiral. It's never a good sign when their objective says, survive until reinforcements arrive. Thanks, Admiral. And we got more birds of prey rolling. Let's see if I can make their lives as miserable as I possibly can. For those who are curious, my primary weaponry are plasma beam weapons, although I've got plasma turret on here, and whoops, something just popped in. I could have done all that. Well, not the spinny part. Might as well say good luck on the task menu. That would be hilarious.
Heard you could use some help.
I will never turn down reinforcements.
All ships, fire to disable.
Oh, it's Naula again. big stop there, right? I mean, the whole point here was to buff Jalula's cred, so... Yeah, fun fact, that's actually not the Discovery. This is actually its sister ship, you could say, the Glen. And I believe Discovery actually mentioned that briefly in one of the first couple of episodes, maybe. I can't recall the details. I saw the episodes once. There's only so much I can remember. But it is the same class of ship. And as we will soon discover, it likely holds some of the same secrets. Well, obviously it has some of the same secrets. You saw what it did when it came in. And then there was one. It's going to be a bad day to be this Klingon. But hey, it's a good day to die, right? Yeah, sister ship gets kaput due to the experiments they did with the mushroom space paths. It didn't end well for them. That's not all the problems they're going to be having.
There'll be time for formalities later. Right now, we've got a problem. Several, actually. The Klingons beamed multiple boarding parties over during the fight. We're a research vessel. Our security forces are getting overwhelmed. If you could send some people over to help, we'd be much obliged.
Well, we're used to having to bail out people on other ships, so yes, let's beam over. And let's have an introduction to our away team, as always. As usual, my away team consists of Varsal, Shayla, Ferrara Talon, and my favorite, No! Never. I will never get tired of that. So let's see if we can bail the Glen out of their troubles. Yeah. Karn! No! I was just doing random names, and that one popped up, and I go, I've got to keep this one. It was just too good to pass up. I don't think I'll ever have another character name or bridge officer name. That will give me nearly as much entertainment as that has. Okay, security officer.
Thanks for coming. The captain still has control of the ship. She's waiting for you on the bridge. Unfortunately,
you can name them yourself. You'll need to name them
several
what?
boarding parties between you and the bridge, and they're not taking prisoners.
I can always go with who, what, where, when, and why. Oh, I better pull away from that idea. That's too tempting. Okay, Klingons ahead. Well, I'm not entirely surprised. Time to switch to one of my favorite weapons. The Plasma Flamethrower. I never claimed to be goody two-shoe Starfleet. I mean, I work with Starfleet, but you know. Flamethrowers are just so much fun. Do it. Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing those bridge officer characters anytime soon. Oh, more Klingons showing up. Time to do my favorite ability, orbital bombardment from within a spaceship. If you're asking how that makes sense, don't ask. It's better you not know. Plasma Flamethrower, isn't that overkill redundant? Bite your tongue. There is no such thing as overkill. There's a few more guys over here. Let's dry roast them too. It's a good day to be set on fire. Now, the downside with the Plasma Flamethrower is it does have a limited amount of fuel before it has to kind of quietly recharge. Consider it bit. Ah, the turbo lift. That must be this. Since it's clearly labeled turbo lift. Maybe I should swap my weapon in here. Using my flamethrower on the bridge feels like it would be a poor idea. Captain, I'm not in... Oh, those intruders. Okay, time to make use of some engineering abilities, like my fabrication weapons. Mortar, plasma, seeker drone, and a Kobali rifle I picked up. What are the fireflies around me? Quite likely I was being under the effect of one of the bridge officer abilities. Does anyone have a nanite health monitor? No, you don't. You do. That was likely what it was, the nanite health monitor. Basically, it pops on, and if I drop below 75% health, I get some bonus stuff.
You made it. Good. We have a lot of work to do here. The Klingons have done extensive damage, especially to our power systems. Mr. Strahl is doing what he can to get main power back online. Care to give him a hand?
I can do that. I am an engineering specialty captain, so one would expect me to be able to handle dealing with engineering tasks.
Like the captain said, main power's offline. We're sitting ducks without it, and the Klingons know it. Let's get to work before House Mokai turns us all into trophies. Or lunch.
What a lovely image.
I'll do the heavy lifting. What I need you to do is to bring engineering control to a bridge console, divert the power flow, and enter the new power-up sequence I'm putting together. You got it?
That sounds nice, straightforward, and easy. I don't need to be carrying the gun in my hands at this point.
Engineering control is transferred. Go to the next console to divert the power flow.
Ordinarily, I'd be insulted by having to be instructed on
Power
what to
flow is
do,
diverted.
but I'm dealing
Input
with
the new power-up sequence next.
150-year-old tech, so I'd be lucky to understand half the stuff that works on here. I mean, it is Discovery era, which is in somewhere in the 2300s, and we're currently in the year 24... I can't remember if we swapped over to 2411 yet or not.
Nice work. Main power is back online.
At the very least, we're into it. Why is this in DOS? Yeah, that's exactly it. It would be that sort of thing.
Nice work. We're not out of the woods yet, though. Our next stop's the engineering lab. I need to get our shields back online and secure some classified data down there. Believe me, we don't want the Klingons getting their hands on it.
Okay, well, hopefully the turbo lift will have a nice direct route there. It does. And oh, looks like we still have Klingons on board. Time for roasting. Now, you'll notice that you occasionally see these little images. Those are coming from one of the, basically a shield that I have. A gift from, I could say a gift in quotes, from the alien Nakul, who tended to have this habit of popping up those temporal duplicates whenever they got damaged too much, and you had to wipe them all out before you could even harm the main target, which was a pain in the tuchus. The shield was one of the rewards, so it was helpful. Is it me, or do Star Trek elevators are based on Willy Wonka tech of being able to travel everywhere beyond up or down? Well, you know, I'm pretty sure that canonically, the turbo lifts can go sideways through a deck. And when you look at the original design of the USS Enterprise, Kirk's Enterprise, you can kind of understand how that would have to be necessary, because the neck of the Enterprise was at an angle. So it would have to be able to handle some horizontal movement. Personally, I've always suspected that the turbo lifts were actually within a bubble. Something spherical. It would make a lot of sense. Made a link to Star Trek and Willy Wonka, shared universe. You're welcome. Well, you know, in a universe that has the Q, cannot really argue the logic. And look what we have over here. It's a pet. It. Now, folks who are familiar with Discovery know exactly what that is. Oh, did we have someone else come in here? Oh, we got a couple guys up here. How did I miss them? Oh, I'm out of fuel. Gotta go with the energy weapons again. Okay, I think we've taken care of the immediate threat. Sprawl? Oh, there you are, Sprawl.
Not sure how she pulled it off, but that Klingon put a security field up between us.
Oh, Juula came aboard herself? Well, that explains a lot.
Juula? The Juula? This day
Oh,
just
please.
keeps getting worse. Look, I need to drop that security field. She's trying to steal that data I told you about on the bridge. We can't let that happen.
This is
Watch
what
my
the
back in
comic
case
book
any
folks
more
call a
Klingons pay
push.
us a visit.
Where they basically take a new character and make them sound like they're the oh so awesomely mighty and scary and dangerous, and just keep hammering you with it until you want to beat the writers up with a club. Personal pet peeve. Oh, more Klingons. Now the good news is they're coming in from this direction.
This tech will win the war. This will bring supremacy to my house and the Empire.
Oh, dry up, Juula. Nobody's impressed. Let's see, if they're going to be coming in through
Wait,
here,
what? She blocked access. I can't bring down the security field.
I'll just put a plasma burst turret right in front of them, so that the moment they open their doors, they're being shot at. Don't know that feeling. Yeah, that kind of thing is one of the things that drove me nuts about the comic books over the last decade and a half. Where does the time go?
Damn, she's good. Locked me completely out of the security system. I can't get the field down. Fine, she's not the only clever one in the room. Watch my back. I've got an idea. Just need a little more time.
Yeah, we need to have a chat about your security protocols at some point. That said, last week we are very well aware of Juula's ability, or at least House Mokai's ability, to monkey with computer viruses, so clearly they've got some computer game going on
In
here.
the field? Look out! Here she comes!
Ah!
Shields online. They can't beam out now.
Oh, there's Juula. Here, take this. Better yet, how about a little fire? Wasted on bad comics is where it goes. You are absolutely right on that one. What species is my main character? Well, you know, that's where the funny part begins. See, when I randomly determined all my starting attributes for this character, I randomly determined that the character would be an alien species. So it is literally a species of my own design. Oh, that can't be good. On the other hand, it's eating Klingons, so as far as I'm concerned, it's on my side. I never did get around to developing a backstory for the character's species, although I have kind of established that the species is attracted to shiny things. Meaning, whenever I find a harvestable, I just can't. It doesn't matter if my people are being shot up or what. I will go to it and harvest it in the middle of a firefight if I can. Yeah, I forgot about STO allowing you to make your own species. Yeah, in fact, on my first character I made in the game, one of his bridge officers, I did my best to make him look as close to Yoda as I could get. It failed miserably, but I still like the look.
Looks like the Klingons aren't fond of our house guest. Shame, really. It's nice once you get to know it.
Yeah. Are we fixed, Straw?
Ah, well, I have good news and bad news.
Why do they always tell that? What's the good news?
good news is I managed to corrupt a number of critical data files before she stole them. There's only 2 people in the galaxy who can figure out that mess now, and neither of them are Klingons.
Making the bad news?
The bad news? Well, there's plenty of uncorrupted data in there that the Klingons shouldn't have. It was classified for very important
AKA
reasons.
no.
We need to
Yeah,
stop
well,
it.
you know,
Of course.
it was my first time trying to design an alien character in the game Alien Gen, and, you know, there's only so many parts you can work with for the aliens, so... Still, I was pretty happy with the design. If I think of it, I'll try to get a screenshot of that character and pop it on your Discord somewhere along the line.
Great. To Kuvma's sister, one of the deadliest members of House Mokai. Here. Wonderful. Okay. They must be headed to the shuttle bay. I brought the shields back online so they can't beam out. If they're gonna leave, they're gonna have to get creative. Let's head down there before Juula gets any more bright ideas.
Yeah, while we're on the subject, your 4-legged friend, what the heck was it? I mean, I don't have any problems with it since it eats Klingons, but still.
That, you should
Create a
probably
Rodian
make
like
peace with
Greedo.
Worlds. It's classified when it comes to what.
Yeah,
you
Dust
discover.
doesn't. I don't believe they have
Seriously,
anything
don't
that'll give
worry
the
about
right
it.
mouth
Believe
shape.
me, we have bigger problems here, starting with Juula. We need to stop her.
Sure, it's classified. Fine. Grumble. Shuttlecraft. Flamethrower back out, and take the nearest turbo lift to the shuttle bay. That said, you can do an awful lot with the character creator. There are people who have managed to make some pretty convincing replicas of, say, Star Wars characters, a couple other genres. I'd have to hop on the internet and look again. I think I've got a bookmark somewhere. But I was really impressed by some of the costume files work. They made one. They made a crew that was like the Guardians of the Galaxy, up to and including Groot and Rocket. Although Rocket was obviously not exactly raccoon-like, but they did a very credible job on Star-Lord. Okay, they have no idea I'm here, so let's bomb them. Oops. I just love dropping that on them. There's absolutely no reason why an orbital strike works on the indoors, but, you know, if they're going to let me do it, I'm going to make it ruthless abuse of it. Oops, I'm almost out of fuel on my flamethrower again. It does recharge itself, but it's kind of slowish. Ooh, shouldn't have shown yourself through that door, buddy. And that's it for the fuel. Time to get back to the beam weapons. Now, one of the things that I have not remarked on very much is the fact that you have, as a general rule, 2 firing modes for your ranged weapons. The first firing mode tends to be the pretty standard, shoot them and stuff happens. Usually it's based on the energy type of the weapon. Sometimes there's a couple extra frills. For example, for this one, it's polar on damage. This one has a bonus for critical severity. Gives me an additional chance to expose them if I'm shooting them from the back, although I think that might be coming from one of my abilities. Extra critical chance, possibility of actually healing myself, which is kind of weird. You're like the old Colonel in Apocalypse Now. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Yes, I love the smell of plasma in the evening. What can I say? I actually picked that up from one of my reputation projects for the Romulans. One of the things you can do here, you work on reputations, and you get the ability to build these projects. And there's some equipment projects in. Well, here's one. This is the first one I picked up. The Rimelin Plasma Flamethrower. I saw that and I said, I've got to have it. I must have it. So I sunk in, let's see, what was the requirements on here? 40,000 energy credits, 18,000 dilithium, and 60 Rimelin marks. And yes, gotta have it. And there's all sorts of other things you can pick up. There's a lot of space equipment you can pick up that'll apply to your consoles or deflectors or shields or what have you. And some of them have set bonuses, which I didn't bother with, honestly, because 500 marks and 15,000 dilithium, I could have, I guess, but I was not sufficiently motivated to try to get any of these sets. So I left them alone. That's how I roll. Oh, they do also have some consumable items, which is kind of fun. This one has Riemann and Rimelin Diplomatic Entourage. They don't actually fight or anything, they just kind of, you know, flank you, just kind of... They're like my theme music. Now, granted, there also are some people who actually will fight these guys, but I never really bother with these guys. And each of these reputations have other, I'm not going to say similar things, but they all have their weapon sets or their armor sets. Stuff you can craft with marks and dilithium and energy credits. And sometimes more advanced reputation marks. For example, if I were to go with temporal defense. Okay, actually that's a bad example because actually all of them are bad examples. Oh, no, this will work, this will work. This one talks about chronoton buffers. That's a... I hesitate to call it elite drop, but it kind of is. You can also get that by throwing marks and dilithium at it, I think. But you can see there's plenty of stuff that this particular reputation has as well. The only one I've gotten to 5 is New Romulus. Temporal Defense is not looking like it's going to get there. Yeah, I just barely got to tier 4. Oh, a cutscene.
Do you hear that?
Ah!
Engineering.
Get it off! Get it off!
Special into containment.
I thought it was a friendly beast. I was wrong.
You okay? Come on, let's go. We're almost there. We really need to stop Jula.
And after that, we're going to have a long talk about the thing that tried to eat me there.
Oh, that'll be exciting. Let me add that to my calendar. Right after we stop the insane Klingon with our top secret data. Less monster, more Klingon, okay? Now let's go.
Finely tuned sense of sarcasm, that one. Okay, I think you go in. There we go.
We're almost to the shuttle bay. Keep moving.
I just want to remark, buddy, that it was your computer systems that were so inadequate that they allowed her to copy all that data, so you might want to keep a more civil tongue in your head. Just saying. Mistakes were made. Oh, someone's stealing the shuttle. There goes the top secret data. Out! Out! Now, it occurs to me that I started talking about those weapon types and didn't finish off. The second weapon mode is usually unique to the type of weapon it is. Mistress of Mokai, you sound dangerous. For this weapon, it's a split beam. So, if I use that, it will fire like 3 beams at 3 different targets. It's also, you'll notice in the upper right hand corner, it says exploit attack. There's 2 different kinds of attack for the second slot, an expose attack or an exploit attack. An exposed attack will get those weird circles that are in the middle of the body of the targets occasionally. And that means they're exposed, which means you can do a bit more damage to them. But if you hit them with an exploit attack while they're exposed, they take heavy damage. And if it manages to be enough to kill them, they vaporize, which is always fun to watch.
She stole one of our shuttles. She bypassed deck security, got emergency evacuation clearance, and hotwired one of our shuttles. Unbelievable. If she wasn't trying to kill all of us, I'd be impressed.
You'd be impressed. I'm not. What now?
Well, that's a short-range craft. There must be a Klingon ship out there.
Vaporize is always good.
We might get out of this yet. Now head back to your ship. See if you can find where she went.
Well, you know, there was a time when medical enemies would be able to revive people you took down unless you vaporized them. So, much like your bridge officers can do to you if you go down, or you can do to the bridge officers if they go down. Okay, let's get back to our ship. So, vaporization became useful in those cases because you can't really revive someone who's basically free-floating atoms. Oh good, it's going to be one of those slow load times. How helpful. One day I will find a link between load times and map size or map data. But since it's been horribly inconsistent, it might be a lost cause.
Heads up. Klingon reinforcements are warping in. Protect yourself and the station. But we really need to find out where that shuttle carrying the stolen data went. There's a good chance it's on a cloaked ship nearby.
Knowing that you're going to give me the runaround, I will ask it anyway. What exactly is that data?
Hate to play the "that's classified" card here, but you know the drill. Sorry. Take it up with Admiral Kensington if we make it through this. For now, let's focus on those Klingons out there trying to kill us, okay?
Nah, I'll just bug Starfleet after we're done with the simulation and find the backstory later. I'm not going to take that guff from a simulated holographic character. Okay, looks like the bad guys have decided to show up in force. Luckily, they're all still in birds of prey, which are not exactly what you would call sturdy. Of course, that's not surprising, because they're flying 150-year-old junk, and I'm flying state-of-the-art Kittimer Alliance equipment. They never had a chance. I think I'll take the opportunity to make use of the famous Romulan cloaking device. And we're going to see about giving them a horrible surprise. When you come out of the cloak, you will do more damage in the first few seconds. Which can work out really nicely depending on just how good a set of weapons you've got, angle of attack, not to mention how fragile the bad guys are, which is pretty damn. Admittedly, I've got the Glen giving me backup. That helps too. Still don't see no shuttlecraft though. Just saying.
Get ready to be happy. I think I know how to find where Ju'ula went.
Good, make me happy.
If the shuttle's in range, I can hack into its command matrix and send a self-destruct command. That'll make a big enough boom to reveal the location of the ship she landed on, cloaked or not.
Yeah, that sounds too good.
Yeah, about that. If the shuttle's in a ship, it'll be tough to get a signal through the shields, the jamming, and the cloak. Tough, but not impossible. Get me close enough, I'll make it happen. We just need to start sifting through this big haystack for one angry little needle. Leave that to us. You protect the station.
I can do that. Oh, and now we've gotten some upgrades here. We've got an actual enemy battle cruiser. They're a little more sturdy than the birds of prey. So accordingly, we're going to take them a little more seriously. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said anything about the being sturdy, because boy, he went up fast, didn't he? Then again, I think that this was one of their early Age of Discovery missions, so they're actually not as deadly in this mission as they were in the missions previous. In other words, what we have here is a little bit of irony. This mission and the next mission were actually released in the game before the missions I did last week. So, you know, the episode changed weird. But once you see the next episode, you'll understand why it had to be that way. Oh, look who we found. Oh, look who got away.
Stroll's plan worked, but Ja'ula's ship was able to go to warp before we could disable it.
Yeah, notice that.
There's still hope. The explosion did a lot of internal damage to that ship. She's leaving a trail we can follow. So, we're going to pursue Ja'ula and clean up our mess. Thanks for all your help here today. If we pull this off, it could make a big difference in the war effort. For all of us.
Have fun with that. Time to get the kids to bed. Have a good rest of my stream. Catch you later. Take it easy, Dav. Catch you next time. And we are going to depart this system and end this mission. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the mission, we're not exactly looking at great rewards out of it.
Fascinating. As dangerous as Ja'ula was in her time, I suspect she will be even more so in ours. House Mokai was eliminated in 2389 after a century-long blood feud. When Ja'ula learns of this, her vengeance will be swift and terrible. It is likely that she will find allies within the Empire willing to aid her in order to settle grudges of their own. Unchecked, Ja'ula's wrath could lead to a Klingon civil war. We are working with our allies to find Ja'ula and stop her before things get out of hand. I'll be in touch when we know more.
Okay, well, I don't have to choose anything on this one, so we'll just say continue and hit the final mission in the Age of Discovery. Downfall. Ominous, isn't it? Then again, it's all simulation, so who cares?
House Mokai.
And we've already heard this dialogue before, so
no longer.
I'm going to more or less
Ja'ula
ignore
has
him.
returned, and she brings
Usual
destruction and
trifecta.
chaos along with her. A most
Same
worrisome
being a
prospect,
shield and a warp
for
core,
more
which
than the
I don't
Empire.
really need.
It is said
Dilithium.
the best way to
In other words, nothing new here, but where we're going to go is Starbase 1. Some folks may recall that Starbase 1 got hosed off-screen in Star Trek
Glad you could
Discovery.
make it. There's a little time and plenty to do. I trust you see the enemy vessels near your position.
This is what happens.
Deal with them. I need you conducting rescue operations as soon as possible, and the Klingons won't let you do that without a fight.
Well, fighting is something we can do. Heaven knows we've been in a zillion different wars. If I'd been smart, I would have cloaked up first and hit with them. But, you know, why would I be smart now? Why change the habit of a lifetime, right? And he's gonna go down just like that.
All right, that area's secure for now. Let's make the most of the time we have. I need you to beam out any survivors on board the damaged Starfleet ships in your vicinity. Make it fast. The Klingons will send more ships, and soon.
All right.
One more thing. The Klingons aren't above ambush tactics, using their blasted cloaking device to get the jump on you. Some of them might be lurking around, waiting for the chance to strike.
Well, they may be decent at cloaking, but we are better. Trying to ambush someone in who fights with the Rimelins from a cloak. Come on, guys. at best, you're rank amateurs. Now, something that's also worth noting is that this little misadventure here actually has a second half to it, in a manner of speaking. Not only do we have this mission, but there's also a task force. Okay, an operation, or whatever they want to call them. I thought I'd gotten them off. Oh, I hadn't done this one. There's a task force operation that involves a much bigger scaled battle around Starbase 1.
Cardiff evac complete. All hands are safely away.
Oh, good. Oh, looks like I didn't get to Churchill. My math sucks.
The Churchill has been evacuated. Thanks.
Nice work. Glad those Klingon cowards didn't get the better of you.
Hey, Legend, how are you doing this evening? Beaming you up. We are currently on the last of the Age of Discovery arc missions, which are basically a set of simulations. And this is the Fall of Starbase 1. If you saw Star Trek Discovery, you saw Starbase 1 having been trashed by the Klingons. This is how it happened.
I hate to ask this, but I have standing orders from Starfleet Command. I need you to scuttle those ships. The Klingons have been scavenging everything they can to get their hands from wrecked Starfleet vessels. In the event we fail in our mission here, Command doesn't want the Klingons getting away with any critical resources. You have your orders.
Alright then. If we gotta do it, we gotta do it. Bye-bye, Starfleet vessels. Yes, Macedonia happened to be a little further away than the rest, so I couldn't make it a clean sweep that quickly, but, you know, one does one's best. Ship go kablooey.
Hard thing to watch, but it had to be done.
It'd be worse if I were actually a Starfleet officer, but...
We need some critical supplies here. My chief engineer's sending you a list as we speak. Beam those supplies over with the personnel you rescued. After that, I need you on high alert, patrolling the area. The Klingons don't give up that easily. They'll be back.
Alright. Where can we get those supplies? Oh, I guess we technically already have the supplies. We just have to beam them aboard. Oh, that can't be good. Oh, backup.
We'd let you seize all the glory here. And you, my chief engineer.
I seem to recall this guy in one previous simulator mission.
We came as soon as we
Actually,
could.
I'm not sure I have,
Wish it were
actually.
under better circumstances. Ticonderoga's ready for battle.
I believe they show up if you were, you know, doing the Discovery-era Captain tutorials. Which, you know, this character is not, so... Details, details. It is a catchy-looking facility, I'll give it
You're doing good
that.
work out there. The personnel and supplies you've sent might make the difference here today. That
Don't
said,
count on it.
I have bad news. Our long-range sensors are picking up a Klingon force heading our way at high warp. They'll be here soon. Get ready for a fight.
I see. So, roughly 3 of us against an unknown number of them.
Battle, especially at Corvan 2. They'll be preoccupied with conquering the base. We can use that distraction to our advantage.
We know how they bite. Don't expect mercy. It won't be coming from Klingons. Hit them fast and hit them hard. And captains, it's been an honor. Good fortune to you all.
I do like that captain seems to be a descendant or a relative of the character of Shran from Star Trek Enterprise, who was probably one of the cooler characters Yeah, birds of prey. They're going to have to upgrade substantially to impress me. Again, though, this was one of the early missions for Age of Discovery, so they were probably tuned towards really low-level characters. They turn out to be a lot more dangerous in future engagements. But since they are who they are right now, we're just going to shoot them up.
They're targeting the civilian habitat areas. Stop them!
And we know that the Klingon Ja'ula is going to show up, because, you know, that's the whole point behind these simulations. So by definition, somewhere along the line, we're going to have to be dealing with a ship that is substantially more dangerous than these guys. Now, let's rebalance my shields a little bit. I'm taking a bit too much of a beating up front. Stand or fall. That may not be a good sign.
Captains, we're reading more Klingon ships on our sensors. A lot more. This is it. They're making their big push. Our initial predictions are not good. I've given an order to evacuate critical personnel and the injured. We're loading as many as we can load onto the ship stocked here. They're too damaged to fight, but they're all warp capable. I
Right,
need you
so
to
run
draw
like hell.
attention from those ships when they disembark. Buy them the time they need to get to warp and to safe harbor.
Well, hopefully, maybe they'll all be birds of prey. Nope. Why would anything start being easy now? I might actually have to start using my cloaking device on this one. But maybe not yet. Oh, we can certainly keep the Klingons distracted, alright. It's the old strategy of come and get me before I blow you up. Battlecruiser. Let's hurt him. Okay, there's two ships that are getting away. Theoretically speaking. Oops, I am taking a little bit more of a beating than I want to. Miraculous repair time. Now, technically, I could be using my reinforcements ability, but that seems like it's cheating the simulation, so... I'm just leaving all those cards on the table. But this will be the last time I have to leave those cards on the table, because here on out, it'll be all current day missions. And that means I can use all the weapons at my disposal, including those reinforcements. Oh, except for maybe one mission. But there's a reason for that. I'll go into detail about that when time comes. We've got some ways to go before that becomes an issue, though. Well, the good news is there may be a lot of Klingon ships. They are also dropping. Yeah, I like that idea. Take out stragglers. That takes care of the battlecruiser. Another battlecruiser up ahead. And that'll just leave a couple birds of prey. And as noted much earlier, the birds of prey are nobodies. Huzzah! We've saved the starbase! Drinks on me, everybody. Okay, so I might have gotten a little ahead of myself. Joula's flagship has shown up.
Heads up. Looks like the Klingon flagship just dropped out of warp.
Yeah, you know, I was just remarking on that.
Sounds like you have some history with that ship. What can you tell us about... Wait, are you reading this? We're picking up some unusual energy spikes. Some new Klingon weapon, perhaps? I don't like this. Take the Lucora out of commission before it gets into weapons range.
I'd love to tell you what it is, but, you know, apparently it's so top secret classified that the Starfleet people couldn't be bothered to tell me, so... I can't help you, sorry. Well, aside from the obvious methodology of...
See you still draw breath, Starfleet. This pleases me.
Yeah, that's always a hazard of
To enjoy great
being on the Starfleet side, even though I'm, you know, Romulan Republic. Well, I might as well at least give Lucara exactly what it's asking for, which is a beating. Unfortunately, my Alpha Strike has done 1% of damage to their shields. This is not a good start. Oh, I am taking some more hull damage than I really want to think about. And apparently there's tiny little fighters that are being annoying, so there we go. They're like bugs! Oh good, with multiple ships on taking fire now. The odds against Lucara have just gone way up. Oh, hitting me with a tractor beam, huh? Not good enough. Ooh, my hull's going faster than Lucara's hull, though. Oh, great! More Klingons!
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
You know... Thanks for nothing, guys. My Alpha Strikes were doing absolutely nothing against Lucara. So all I'm going to be able to do is basically a whole lot of nothing, honestly. Still, maybe I'll get lucky. Getting tired of those gnats, though. Oh my, those are a lot of Dagor starships there. Let's try to stay out of their way, because the last thing I need is to aggro all of them. I have enough trouble dealing with Lucara. If I have to deal with the,
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
Do you mind? I'm working here. I think Lucara is actually getting healthier.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
You know, I'm getting tired of it. Okay, that's not good. And, well, so much for that.
Just like my brother.
Yeah, so far pitched fighting, and I've done a net of 0 damage to the thing. This is not going well.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
I am tempted to open fire on Starfleet. Keeps ragging on me on that. Let's try to make use of my strong points, which is to say, attacking from behind from cloak. Oh, are you kidding me? I had it down to 63 and then it jumped up another 10%. Oh, this is nuts. I want to keep attacking from the rear if I can, because that's where my strong point is. Get that flanking bonus damage. Oh, it looks to kick off there. They're turning the wrong way. I want to be at the rear end here. You know, I could have rephrased that actually. I want to be in flanking position so I can do more damage. There we go. Man, this is insane. Lucara seems to be the one ship that's actually level appropriate, or appearing to be. Okay, I've got a problem. Well, you know what? Heck with it being a simulation. Clearly, Lucara is not going to go down without a little bit of extra juice, shall we say.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
Oh, don't make me go against you guys. I am this close. I am this close to saying the heck with Starfleet. Hi, Lucara. And look, I'm bringing friends. Ironically, another Klingon ship. Head down with the man. Yeah, you know, if that Romulan, if that Andorian hadn't just kept on ragging on me, I mean, I'm sorry, it's irritating, and he abandoned me to deal with the enemy flagship and a raider. I am not a happy camper right now. So the way I see it, I'm just going to call every reinforcement I get my hands on. Every time a cooldown is done, I'm popping more reinforcements. Because otherwise, I'm going to be here all day trying to take this ship down. And my willingness to do so is virtually non-existent. I mean, down to 58%. Sheesh, took me this long to get that far. Get my hull up. About 20-some seconds before my next set of reinforcements are available. And I think I know exactly the ones I'm going to call up.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
Oh, you be quiet. Alright, let's see how you like dealing with the Herc. I'm sure you guys will have just as much fun with him as I do. And he's back up to 62. I swear, this is going to be aggravating. Yeah, 12% hull. I need a cloak. Well, that clearly didn't help. Oh wait, no, I'm still alive. I'm at freaking 4% hull, but I'm still alive.
Stop the Lucara, now!
Yeah, the hell with Lucara. Personally, I'd have rather swapped places. You two could have taken Lucara, and I could have dealt with all those other Klingons.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
65%. Yeah, this is turning into a lost cause far faster than I prefer to think about. What was that? Must be an ability I don't know about. Okay, well, time for more abuse. And more reinforcements. Bring the pirates into the game. And I would, but I seem to have lost track of where Lucara went. Oh, there we are. Oh, down low.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
Yeah, Mr. Andorian, you and I are going to have words. Ugh, this is just an ordeal. This is payback for me mocking the Klingon birds of prey. They said, okay, you want to make fun of the Klingon birds of prey? Why don't we give you a real challenge? There's probably a moral to this story somewhere. This is just not going well at all, is it? That's not good. Get out of Dodge before they turn me into Misty.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
Oh, shut up. The only thing you're doing is annoying me. Get these gnats out of the way before they blow me up by accident.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
This guy is really getting on my last nerve. And Lucar is back up to 65. Ugh! The moral of the story, don't throw shade at Klingons. Yeah, and you may think that applies to Drake, but it doesn't. It's like an exercise in futility. I mean, even when I call the reinforcements, they can't help break in. Speaking of which, app. And why are none of my reinforcement active? There we are. Sheesh. Sometimes I wonder. I've yet to get to Lucara below 50%. Try to hit and run with the cloak. Keep trying to whittle it down. We know. Thanks for dropping by the stream, John Davis. The downside here is that the Lucara has a hideously insane hull restoration speed. So the hit and run has limited effect to work with. I've been doing that. I've been going for the flanking damage because I'm flying a Temera Raider, so theoretically I do more damage from the back end. But it's not helping.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Then of course there's also this Andorian who I want to kill very badly now. I've yet to get this guy down 50%. I haven't even gotten him that far down. I swear it wasn't this rough when I was using the Discovery here.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Yeah, unfortunately that's all I've got, yeah. Yeah, I think part of my problem is just my choice of ship. It's really not great against the really big, tanky sorts of ships. So moments like this are happening an awful lot.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
And it wouldn't bother me nearly so much. Yeah, I found out how against the Vodwar. Yeah, I know how that feels. Believe me, Vodwar, ugh. And he's back up to 70-some%. And the reason this really bugs me is, technically speaking, I won't be defeating the Lucara, because something will be happening very soon. Well, let me rephrase that. Theoretically, something will be happening that will set the entire storyline into effect, which means all of this is really irrelevant. Because it's still going to escape. It's still going to end up not making any bit of difference here whatsoever. It's like, why don't they just put this on a timer or something? I mean, for crying out loud. And even that didn't help. Of course it doesn't help that we're, right up against the Gore cruisers now. Yeah, it's just a simulation. Yeah, I tell myself this repeatedly. Well, there is a hard limit to this as far as I'm concerned.
You need to stop
If I haven't gotten this guy down in like 30 minutes, it's going to be long lines of, yeah, the hell with this. I'll just abandon and skip the mission. The rewards aren't that great.
Warning, ship is under attack.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
No, what I really want to do is stop that Andorian. Yeah, you know what?
You need to stop the
You know what? I'm gonna pick on some of those Dagor cruisers anyway. Maybe if I can free up some of the other guys, maybe they will actually lend a hand. In other words, the hell with the Lucara. 43% I think is the key point. Well, since I haven't even gotten down to 50%, that is so much a lost cause. Yes, but no. Since you guys can't be bothered to actually defeat the Dagor on your own, I'm going to help you guys out in the hopes that you will then start helping me out. That said, the odds are not looking very good. %. I mean, God, we weren't even doing great when we were fighting with all three.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
And at this point, I really can't engage Lucara without engaging all his buddies, which you guys are failing to keep aggro on. So, you know, thanks again.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Oh, do be quiet. Come and get me. %. And what was looking like a lost cause before is even worse now. If the Ticonderoga and the Sebrova were anywhere near competent, I tend to take in my tanks or the high side defense tips I have with this mission because it's stopping Lucara now. Yeah, I hear that. I've usually used some pretty beefy ships as a general rule with the other characters I play. But this is not a beefy ship.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
75%.
Now see, I'm having more luck against this battleship. I mean, sure, I'm getting my shields whammies and all that, but at least we're doing damage. If you want to replace Lucara with this guy, hey, I'd be all for it.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Yeah, Tamara is a sneaky ship we all love to use, but not against the big guns. Yeah, I'll take birds of prey every day. I'll deal with cruisers. With effort, I can handle battleships. Lucara, though, ugh. And add insult to injury, this is hardly the last we'll see of Lucara. So, you know, good times ahead. Get to experience all this joy again and again. Okay.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Away, cloak. Well, we're beginning to thin out the Dagor battleships and cruisers. Kind of. Okay, maybe not so much.
You need to stop the Lucara now.
Yeah, you know, you keep saying that, but that doesn't make it any more likely to happen.
You
Yeah. Stop Lucara. Yeah. Wine. No. I think I have those raiders on behind him again.
Now!
Where's that cruiser? There we are. Don't want to swap targets if I can avoid it. Well, okay, swapping targets is obviously not an issue at this point. Just for giggles, I'm going to go in under cloak, and I just want to see if the Starfleet ships are actually doing anything at all. Because I don't think they are. No, no, the answer is they're not doing anything at all except being shot at and taking damage. I am horribly unimpressed with Starfleet. Zakara can fire heftily at long distance. Yep, that is true enough. Been demonstrated quite a bit this mission. And Ticonderoga, you're also being completely useless. In fact, I think that it has to actually improve to become useless. And by now, I'm pretty sure that Lucara is all the way back to full health.
You need to stop the Lucara, now!
I think at this point, a wise man would understand that this is a lost cause. So, adios! Even I am not that masochistic. So, let's see what stuff I didn't get
Complete
for...
the historical simulation as soon as you are able.
No, it doesn't actually show. Okay. I'd be getting like a shield and something or other. Either way, it's so not worth it. So, we're going to go to the in-progress missions. We're going to take a look at Downfall. We're going to say, bye! And we're going to go to episodes, and we're going to go to the Age of Discovery, and we're going to hit the button that says skip. So, I think that our little encounter here at Starbase 1 is that's going to have to be a bust. Except, I did mention something about Task Force with Starbase 1, didn't I? Let's see. Do I recall which one? Here we go. Defense of Starbase 1. Just for giggles, let's queue up into that and see if anything happens. I am not horribly optimistic on it, but, you know, it could happen. It'll certainly be a substantially more enjoyable experience if it kicks off. In the meantime, let's see. I think that what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to go over to Nimbus 3 and get that Gorn endeavor out of the way. That way I can at least do something semi-meaningful. I just have to remember where the heck Nimbus is hiding. Or I could cheat and just go through here. Nimbus. That way, what mark are my weapons and shields at? They should all be at Mark 12. They better be at Mark 12. Oh, or Infinity, depending on the thingy here. Oh, Task Force is up. Awesome. Heck with Nimbus. Yeah, my feeling is that if you can't handle these things at their Mark 12s, then they're being tuned for stuff that's moving into that pay-to-win territory.
The Klingons are advancing to our position. We need to hold off their ships until reinforcements can arrive. We expect the Klingons to attack in waves. Their smaller, faster ships are hungry for battle and won't wait for the rest of their fleet to arrive in one group. As the fight progresses, their heavier ships will show up. Hold them off until more Starfleet ships can get here.
And that is our briefing. This should prove to be a substantially better experience.
Here they come.
Mark 15 with Phoenix packs and yeah, I don't think that's my So the goals here is to wipe out as many frigates as possible and hopefully defend the ships that are evacuating out. We'll get messages indicating that they are leaving in the near future. Now eventually we'll start getting their battle cruisers into play, and after that, their battleships. So, and as the bigger ships come in, they will also bring in more of the smaller ships as well, if I recall correctly. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, it takes a while, but that's kind of what you need. No biggie. The way I see it, I am not horribly concerned. Let's get some of the reinforcements in here. These are going much better here. So far, so good. We're about to finish clearing out the yes.
Maybe a short amount of time before more arrive.
No, the various ships do seem to be intact. Oh, what was that?
Reading some heavier ships incoming.
Someone has one of their Kabayashi Maru freighters is floating around out here. Okay, the battle cruisers are in play now. These guys are a little tougher. And let's see, we got people picking meat on here, so as far as I'm concerned, my conscience is clear. The need loot system has never been what you would call a good system. It requires, I guess it works better if you're friendly with the people you're playing with. Yeah, it definitely helps to have the help. Got that right. Trying to take out Lucara solo in that particular situation, yeah, that just wasn't gonna happen. Especially with all those raider bat bug things that we kept attacking. It's tricky to focus fire. We have to deal with zillions of little ships shooting at you at the same time. Things are rough enough. We don't need the help. Oh, we got somebody who's evacuating out. Looks like I missed number one escaping. not even sure where the evacuating ship is. Is there a mark? Oh, yeah, I'm right by it. Duh! Never claimed to be a genius. Which is good because I'm definitely nowhere near genius. Let's help this ship get out alive.
Our shields are taking hits, and we could use an escort.
The Klingons are regrouping again. Get into position to prepare for the next assault.
Sure. Let's
An
see.
evacuation
Where's...
ship is launching. Give them cover.
There we are. You can tell where they are from the arrows, and you can see their path by that little line there.
Keep fighting.
And you can tell the bad guys because they just popped in. Let's bring some more help. Oh, yeah, can't pass that up. I mean, can't pass up the opportunity. So we got a mix of birds of prey, cruisers, and battleships rolling in now. Lafayette is doing decent. That's the ship that's escaping. Oh god, nothing but lock boxes. Ah, the last ship is making its escape. Over here. Where... I have to close in a little faster than I'm moving. Cleave Battleship. Well, there's a name. Far so good. I think our escapee is almost out. Of course, it looks like he's almost out of health. But I think we're going to have him get away. Operation complete.
Can you draw off some of those enemy ships?
For now. I don't know how much longer we can keep up with this kind of war. Today was a good one. At least there will be a tomorrow.
Now, completing this task for us will give the bonus. You can either go with fleet marks or discovery marks. Since this character is not fleeted, discovery marks seems like the way to go. And I think we still have a couple of items here. Let's just grab them for later sells. Oh, or vendoring, as the case may be. So that is the other side of the Starbase 1 attack. So we got to kind of look at both sides of it. We got to see the main attack, including the aforementioned Lucara, and we got to deal with a larger fleet conflict around the Starbase 1. So, do I have anything here? R&D materials. One of these days I'll have to start doing something with all those. I don't think I got anything decent as far as drops go. I think I lost every one of those. But no matter. No matter. Okay, so I think this is a good place to end things up today. It's a little earlier than usual, but it makes up for the times I've been running really late, so it all balances out in the end. The plan for the next week is going to be dealing with the current time once again. No more simulation. It will be back in 2410 or 11. I'm not entirely sure what year it is at this point in the storyline. We're pretty close to 2411, but I'm not 100% sure. Thank you, Legend. I will, of course, be streaming the next episodes next Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Obviously, we're seeing the approximate in play tonight. I also do streams of Star Citizen on Saturday afternoon from 1 o'clock p.m. to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. So if you have an interest in seeing what that game is like, feel free to drop by. Thank everybody for watching, whether you are watching it live or from video on demand here or on YouTube. Hope to see you all again. Thank you very much for watching. This is Korath Landwalker, signing off.